Well, America's health care prices are some of the highest in the world, and one reason for that is that hospitals are allowed to hide those prices from you, the consumer. And that makes it, of course, almost impossible to search for cheaper options. Now, the Trump administration is trying to change that. This is one of the best things this administration is doing, and, of course, one of the least covered. A newly issued rule would require hospitals to reveal the procedure prices they currently negotiate in private with health insurers. This would clearly benefit consumers, so, of course, hospitals are outraged. They're suing to block it. Alex Azar is the current Secretary of Health and Human Services in the Trump administration, and he joins us. Secretary, thank you so much for coming on. Tell me if I misstated the intent of this rule.
No, you got it exactly right. All the president is saying is, if you're a hospital, disclose what something costs before you want someone to buy it. In every other part of our economy, it's a simple right that we have. What is the price of something before you buy it? The hospitals want you to wait until they send a bill collector to your door to find out what it costs. It's an outrage.
And anyone who has dealt with hospitals recently knows that you're not exaggerating at all. What you said is literally true. You find out when the bill comes.
I am not exaggerating. I am the Secretary of Health and Human Services, and I've had surprise medical bills.
I don't know why I'm laughing. It's so awful.
I have gone into hospitals for procedures, and I have asked, what will this cost me? And they say, we won't tell you. I say, what will it cost me under my plan? We can't tell you. What would it cost if I paid cash? We won't tell you. President Trump is, for the first time in history, delivering you the right to know what a hospital service will cost before you get it.
I'm just confused because, I mean, as you just pointed out, no other sector of our economy, this would not be, car dealers would never be allowed to get away with this, of course. But why isn't the left on this? Why didn't the Obama administration do this?
Because no other president has had the guts, the courage to take on these special interests. These so-called nonprofit hospitals are very powerful. They've been making a lot of money off of the backs of the American patient through this lack of transparency. In one metro zone...
Wait, so they're nonprofit hospitals, so the directors must be making $80 grand a year. Is that what you're saying?
I don't think that's what they're making.
They're making $10 million a year.
I think they are.
Okay, yeah. So they're against this.
They are against it, and they are suing us. They're taking a page right out of the big pharma playbook. The president required the pharma companies to tell you the list price of their drugs. They sued us to prevent us from requiring that. The hospitals, the president told them, you tell people what something costs when you give them the bill. Just do it beforehand. And they're saying, no, we won't. I don't know how they can look themselves in the mirror with a straight face. They should be ashamed.
Well, they're the worst. Let me ask you, is the New York Times editorializing on your side of this? Supporting the administration in this?
I don't know where the Times has been, but I think it's actually been very bipartisan. It's frankly been just the vested, swampy interests that have said they want to keep the patient blinded to information about price.
It's actually unbelievable. I cannot tell you how much I am rooting for you. I think normal people will be rooting for you. Very quickly, what's going to happen?
We're going to win. And it's the rule now. It is the law of the land. And starting in 2021, hospitals will actually have to tell you what the price of the most common services are ahead of time. You will be able to shop. In just one metro zone, common blood lab tests could cost as much as 40 times difference from one hospital to another. In Boston, labor and delivery varies from $4,700 to $16,000. We will get to shop. 70% of hospital services are shoppable. We will get to choose the lowest cost, highest quality provider. We will actually bring to our free market in healthcare a competitive market in healthcare that will bring costs down, quality up, and that is thanks to the leadership and the courage of President Trump.
I agree with that. And I really appreciate your explaining that on this